What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Rex Righteous, and I'm back with another rap rant. All right. Sorry for all the commotion. Messing with you. So we're talking about Charlo and Harrison too, and we're talking about Chavez Jr. We're gonna do all of it in one video, and let's get right into it. The Chavez Jr. Um, fight was definitely a questionable fight from the beginning. I mean, you got this guy coming in overweight, paying his fighter to fight him, fighting in Arizona, not taking a drug test, um, just questionable motives all around, 100%. Um, I don't know, man. I don't just blame the dad. I don't just blame the stupidity of all these decisions and why it keeps happening. I also blame the son. I blame all of them. I blame everything that has to do with Chavez. You know, it's just crazy. And I guess that in itself is, a commodity in itself. I mean, think about this, guys. When he fought Canelo, this was here in Vegas, right before the first Triple G fight. So, to me, it was like, what the? That's why nobody cared about when Triple G announced it, because everybody was like, whoa, what is happening? No one wanted to believe that Triple G was going to fight uh, Canelo because of the way it happened. Like, they swiftly went to the Triple G video and they were like, oh, where are you? You're next, or whatever. A lot of that crap that came from it was because of Chavez. If you remember, he barely threw a punch, followed Canelo around for 12 rounds. Canelo didn't even sit on the stool. And then on top of that, there was the stripper story where, oh, the actual check, was lost and I didn't know what to do with it. And I just couldn't find my check, and the girls, they stole it. And look, a check. They stole it. What? Who walks around with a check still? Like, seriously. Who still walks around like, oh, my check, bro. They took it from me. Come on, nobody does that anymore, man. Come on. There's no way. There's no way that this happened and it hadn't happened to you in the past, because you always do it with the check because of some reason, you know what I'm saying? But I don't get it. The stripper story, all of it was crazy. So then that's when I started to really question him. He had fights before that, were weird, and he didn't come through, or it ended early or whatever. But this time, after the Canelo thing, that's when I really started to look at him weird, and I was thinking to myself, why does his dad keep trying to support his career? Like, he doesn't have to, but I guess he has no other choice. You know, every time I see Chavez Senior trying to show Chavez Junior how to fight, they both have different ways of doing it, because whatever Senior shows him, Junior never does it. Never, never, ever. Like, it looks like he tries to make him imitate his style, and then Junior never applies himself to it. So it's kind of weird, their relationship. Back in the days, the story was the Senior used to get drunk, sniff, drugs and stuff, and he used to take his son with him and fight random kids in the middle of the street or in the corner of the street, and they would fight and whatnot, and he would bet, and whoever wins gets the money. Hella embarrassing. And obviously back in the days, you know that's how we were raised. Like, a lot of kids were raised like that, on just brute, dumb ways of making kids tough. But to be honest, overall, that's not love. We know that now. But back in the days, it was tough love, and it was extreme to a kid's psyche. So that's why I think that someone like Chavez Jr. might have had PTSD or maybe a little brain damage there as a young kid, and I think he's constantly trying to impress his dad, and the dad is never impressed. So there's a flip side to it. So they both have some kind of stress from it. Chavez was a fighter too. He probably has his own little demons. That's why he drank and sniffed. So with that being said, they both have their problems. You know what I'm saying? They both have their psychological battles and frustrations. One wants to understand his son. The other one doesn't understand why the dad. So it's a problem. Both of them have stress factors from that. And then you also have the fight itself, which wasn't that great at all. And then for it to end that quickly was like, wow, you know, I would be mad too if I paid for it. There was shoes, random things. It's crazy. That's not something you don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to happen. People throwing random stuff at you, because they're mad about the fight. So, that was awful. But yeah, man, check us out, Instagram, all that. I'm gonna get to the Charlo fight. So it was a pretty good fight. I thought it was close. I liked Harrison's defense. He did pretty well. Um, Harrison didn't move as much, but he still looked like he could take Charlo's punches. Charlo got on the inside of Harrison's defense. The knockdown in the first or second round was official. It looked pretty good to me. I didn't see anything wrong with it. And then after that, I saw a lot of Harrison trying to control the fight. He controlled it for a good 2 or 3 rounds, and which made the fight closer. Before the knockdown or the knockout. And then I started to see like some hesitation from Harrison, which I found very, very not like the first fight. So he might have been buzzed from the first couple hits, and Charlo was just waiting him out. The defense was still there for Harrison, but like I said, no movement. He was rotating a lot in the first fight. But he was exchanging really good, Harrison, off of the counters and things like that, and he had Charlo on his back foot. But then after a while, Charlo figured him out, and he blasted through some of Harrison's defense, and then Harrison just messed up. He was like a step off, and he felt weird, and then it was like he didn't know where he was at. So when the fight was stopped, I didn't think it was that necessary to stop the fight, but I feel like the ref did check Harrison's eyes, which is important. So that's the part that we can't see. Sometimes we have to realize that the referees can look inside the eyes of a fighter and see if they want it. Is it, that they're lost? Is it that they can't see? How do they feel? Are they hurt? So it could have been that he saw that he was not in this universe, but, he could have fought a little bit longer. I just think that it was fair, and I didn't think he was going to win anyway, even if he would have continued. So is there going to be a part 3? I would hope so. But with that being said, I'm out. I want to see more. I need to see the replay of Terrence Crawford. I only saw the knockout. That was beautiful. But you guys keep in touch, man. Let me know what you guys think. I'm out. Peace. And let's try to keep boxing alive, yo. Read the description, man. There's always more stuff. All right. Peace out.